Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the privacy edition of the weekly news roundup. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch it live, that's the time and the place. Today, if you would like to get some Switch to Linux merch, you can head on over to shop.switchetolinux.com. You can get a variety of different shirts up here. I'm going to be working on some other designs. I have some neat ideas. Keep an eye out for that. Of course, I'll be announcing them on the channel. This is the RMRF No Preserve Root September 2018 Code of Conduct. Hashtag LinuxGate. And then, of course, we have Switch to Linux, you fool. We have cats in tinfoil hats on bags and coffee cups and things like that. You can check that out over there. Let's go ahead and dive on into the news, though. So we have yet another bill coming up. If Cobra, now Cobra is the name. If Cobra is anything like Cobra, burn it with fire. Like, I mean, if you've ever had the experience of losing a job or leaving a job, and they're like, hey, we're going to offer you the Cobra plan. Look at them and say, do I look stupid? Now, I understand there's a few cases where you might need Cobra. You know, it's like it just cannot get anything else. But my Lance, I had the crappiest insurance in the world. Like, how is this for funny, right? So I've actually used medical insurance one time in my life. And I was living in the West, and I had insurance through a job I was working out there, and I'm traveling around to the East, and I was actually like on a 6-week tour through the East. I picked up Lyme disease, and I stop into the hospital for, all the regular stuff, and they're like, okay, well, here's doxycycline. You need to see a specialist in this particular field. So literally, I'm out East. There's only one person who actually takes the insurance, and they don't see new patients. Everyone else is like, there was something funnier than that. There was something hilarious, like, we don't see people from out of town, but we take your insurance, and my insurance was explicitly a Western company. Kind of insanity, right? And so I leave that job. They're like, we'll give you the same crappy plan. It's going to cost you over $1,000. Like, do I look stupid? Drop that crap in a heartbeat, But anyway, enough detour. This is the Cobra bill. This is yet another privacy bill that they are going to propose. And here is the brief summary. The right to be free from deceptive and harmful data practices, financial, physical, and reputational injury, and acts that are that a reasonable person would find intrusive, among others. I'm probably not a reasonable person, I guess, in this area, but I do like that they are looking at financial, physical, and reputational injury. And the reason this is very significant for this bill is because in most cases in the law, you have to demonstrate a financial loss. So when Equihacks occurs, and Equihacks leaks out all this data, we can't sue them because we can't necessarily prove a financial loss as a result of their hack. But in this case, financial, physical, and reputational injury could have a better chance of applying under this. The second thing here is the right to access their data and greater transparency, which means customers have detailed and clear information on how their data is used and shared. That is good. And if you ask me, I say, hey, let's just put a clause here. Nobody may share any of your data with a third party without explicit written permission. That would be neat. And you can't sign a little, agree to a terms of service either. It's got to be explicit written permission written on a piece of paper. How's that for fascinating, right? I would like that, but I don't see that ever happening in our current crazy world. But to see where your data is being used and what data they have is good. The right to control the movement of their data. So this is looking at sharing it with third parties, which gives consumers the ability to prevent data from being distributed to unknown third parties. Good. The right to delete or correct their data. Yeah, we should just play, master delete button. Delete it all. I don't want it. Delete it all. And then last, the right to take their data to a competing product or service. Yes, I will take it to my own personal competing product and service and be done with it. Be done. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. All right. So this is going to be one to keep an eye out. Will this pass? Probably not. This one actually seems reasonable, which means that it probably will not pass, but I don't know. Something to keep an eye on anyway. All right. Well, Facebook wants to stop doing all of their fascinating stuff with that. Is it is it Onavu or something? Whatever their VPN was, and then of course they rebranded that and targeted teenagers to get them to install this app that saw literally every single thing you possibly did. Like, oh no, we're not doing that now. Now we're just going to pay you for taking surveys. So you can download this survey app, and then they're going to give you little points as you fill out surveys, and then they'll reward you with carrots of little $5 bills. So you take enough surveys in a day, guys, and your frou-frou coffees that cost over $5 a cup might be paid for by Facebook as they harvest more data with you without recognizing what is actually truly at stake. They are saying that this is only available to people who are 18 and over. And the app is called Viewpoints if you want to check it out. Participate in a well-being survey so Facebook can learn to limit the negative impacts of social media and enhance benefits. Yeah, right. Other opportunities include completing online chores on behalf of Facebook. Online chores. This article just took a dark turn. What precisely is defined as an online chore on behalf of Facebook? Is this like posting woke memes or something insane? I don't know what they're talking about here. Would be neat to figure out. Trying out new apps or devices ahead of launch so Facebook can refine them. Well-being survey will take about 15 minutes. Well-being survey will take about 15 minutes. Score users 1,000 points. That does not sound like a correctly written sentence. The well-being survey will take about 15 minutes. Score users 1,000 points. Maybe and score users 1,000 points. I think it's funny some of these big sites don't always have the best editors, although I haven't seen too many missteps in TechCrunch. But anyway, which translates into a $5 reward that's paid over PayPal. People interested in signing up can join Viewpoints here. A company claims it will only use the data collected internally and won't sell it. Yeah, right. Yeah, raise your hand if you believe Facebook. Question is whether users will be comfortable giving up even more data. Oh no. Sheep, man, $5, man. Yeah, of course they will give up more data. They won't even give a thinking thought about it because it'll be like, oh, we just don't understand. All right, oh, look at this little screen. Reward is reached. Yay, $5 has been sent. You can go buy your frou-frou coffee from Starbucks now. That's exciting. All right, anyway, this is, of course, the article there linked about Facebook paying teens to install VPNs that spy on them. That was exciting. All right, so if you recall the edited version of the news I did a couple weeks ago, I actually took out the first article on the RCS Standard, and a lot of the reason is I spent a little bit of time looking more into it after we did the news because I kind of recommended it in the news at the time, and after looking into it, I said, no, I'm gonna pull that back. Like if you're gonna use something to that general effect, use Signal, Telegram, Wire, a few other ones that are pretty good. Probably don't want to do WhatsApp just because that whole Facebook connection. But then if you're not gonna do one of those things, SMS are going to be just as fine. So I actually deleted that article out, and because I didn't spend enough time researching all of the details about RCS, what it was doing, how it was doing at the time. That's why the article came out. If you saw it live and you saw that the article was taken out later. Well, it does turn out that that was probably a good move because a research lab found that there were multiple issues with how telecoms are implementing the RCS standards, which basically gives anybody who wants to access to pretty much anything and everything on your phone, including how your phone connects up to those individual networks. So standard use by phone carriers around the world leaves users open to all sorts of attacks like text message and call interception. So it's bad enough that your SMS messages can be intercepted, but this will allow not only your text messages, but your phone calls also be intercepted. That's exciting. RCS Standard is essentially the replacement for SMS. The new news shows how even as carriers move into more modern protocols for communication, phone network security continues to be an exposed area with multiple avenues for attack. People, this is why you never, ever, 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 ever use your phone number as a verification for any service. Like, I had to fight with my bank. I was like, I will close the account if you do not get my phone numbers off of these accounts. All right. But you won't be able to use, I forget which one they're using. It's not Venmo, I don't think. It's one of those other ones, where, but you can't send money to people with a text message. Good. I don't want to send money to somebody. I don't want to be sitting here talking about, going down, having a conversation with somebody, a friend going, hey, yeah, okay, yeah, this is the thing. I found the book. Hey, it's $5. Do you want me to just pick it up for you while I'm here? I don't want them to accidentally send $5 to somebody. I realize the protocol's not as simple as that, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like, if I need to give my friend money, I will give them money. If it's a more complicated thing, I will cut them a check. I don't need to be using my phone to be texting money to people. For the love of people. It's just getting lazy. And then you get to the point where you go over to like India and China and your bums on the side of the street have cell phones and QR codes that you can donate money to them digitally. Think about that for a second. I'm not making that up. All right. So there's a lot of vulnerabilities in how this is being implemented. I'd be careful with this protocol as this starts to roll out and replace that. If this is not secure, definitely, guys, switch to Signal, Telegram, Wire, some of those other things, which, by the way, if you have Signal on your phone, you can have it run your SMS as well. Signal will do a relay to see if it's somebody that is on Signal's network, it will send through there. If it's not on the network, then it will not. And so it will work perfectly fine no matter what. So, All right, next, this is our feature story of the day. Google now lets you manually tag faces as long as it sees them. You'll be only be able to use this feature if photos recognize a face in the first place. Okay, this is the type of service that I believe should be completely against the law. Because if I want to be a fool or a sheeple and upload a bunch of my pictures to some service and then tag myself in those so the service can better identify me, more power to me. But when I can upload your picture to a service and tag you in it, now I don't have any control. And this is a problematic thing. So this is very much like what Facebook started to do. It was over 10 years ago at this point, right? I remember the first time somebody tagged me in a photo, I'm like, please don't do that. I don't want to be tagged in Facebook's photos anywhere. Because even if you don't have an account, it goes right back to some of those questions that the legislators were asking Mark Schmuckerberg. Is like, hey, are you tracking people? Oh, no, we're not tracking anybody. Well, of course you're tracking people. Because I can tag somebody who doesn't even have a Facebook account. And if Facebook will then attach that name, and then if somebody else then later creates the Facebook account, they will tie all that data in because they do carry a profile. It's called a ghost profile. All right. And so this is now, Google is moving into this, and I have no doubt that this is to start Google's ability to start grabbing facial ID, facial recognition, and getting a more refined AI process to identify individual people. Now that you can upload a photo, now what I knew one guy did, what he actually used to do with Facebook, mess with Facebook a little bit, is he would go through and tag everybody in just some random photo that didn't even have people on it, and it would kind of get all of the it would show up on everybody's feeds and things like that. He was doing as a creative business marketing type thing through Facebook. Well, Google's is actually a little bit better. It will not allow you to tag it unless Google itself recognizes a face. So Google says, here's a face. I don't know who it is. You come along and go, and fill them in and give out a name. And now Google knows exactly who that face belongs to. And so this is a way for Google to use the sheepleness of other people and to collect and harvest more data and figure out even more about who we are as we are going through our daily lives. So this is a big problematic thing that I see. I think that the ability to tag somebody else in a photo should be completely against the law and should definitely be against all these service companies' laws, because if I don't have one of these accounts, I don't want to be tagged in your photos, because even if I don't have the account, Google can still track all that down. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.